Bob Mentzinger lived in the Four Corners from 1991 to 1996 and wrote extensively about mountain biking for the Albuquerque Journal and Rocky Mountain Sports. Currently, Bob's managing editor of the Brunswick, Maine Times Record. We spoke the other night about Ed Snowden, the leaks of the National Security Agency, and the nature of internet culture. Bob Mentzinger, how you doing? This is just tonight an attempt to interject a dose of seriousness into the podcast this week. I thought that you might be able to explain why we should be concerned about this latest story that won't go away. It's serious, right?
Yeah, it's serious. It's damn serious. And I am more than willing than most people to back up the government.
Yep.
And because I like having order. And I think eavesdropping probably does do a little bit to maintain order. However, it just really gives credence to all the real serious right-wing wackos that I really can't stand about how the government is creeping into your bedroom.
Right.
And watching you do stuff.
The kid kind of blew it. I mean, he signed a contract.
Right.
He agreed that the things that he would be privy to were serious and complicated, and he just got in over his head.
Yeah, it blew it in another way too, because if he had gone kind of the Bradley Manning route and just kind of compiled more stuff, stuffed the documents kind of Fawn Hall style in his brassiere on his way out the door, like during Iran-Contra. And then he could have had a bigger trove to actually make a bigger case. Right now, it seems like he's got, he's got a case and he's got a lot of documents, but he's also ended his affiliation with that which he is trying to stop. So, I mean, it's kind of, he's kind of limited his ability to do any more leaking, I would imagine.
Right, absolutely. Well, now he's on the run. He's doing this Julian Assange business of where he's in Hong Kong and he's headed for Iceland.
That's great, isn't it? I mean, it's like it's the vagabonds kind of, getaway tour.
Yeah, but he's finished because he really doesn't have any more, resources. After he blows all this money, he's not really going to have much support. And he gave up that luscious girlfriend.
Oh, I didn't know about the luscious girlfriend. That is unfortunate.
Oh, well, you got to
not too many of those. Not too many of those going.
Well, you got to check this out. The luscious girlfriend is it's kind of luscious. I don't know how luscious she can be at that age, but she's on her way to lusciousness.
Sure, and and we can't really. It's hard to even comment on because when you go there, you're one of them. So I'll take your word for it that she's luscious.
All right. Well, objectively speaking, in an objective way. She's
of course. To the average person, a reasonable person would agree that she's luscious.
Yeah, well, let's just say she's semi-luscious, and then when you check her out, you can use that as a yardstick.
Excellent.
Semi-lusciousness.
But but the thing, I mean, he's young. He signed the contract. You're right. He had ulterior. He had kind of the best motives in mind. He's a defender of freedom and all that. But we wouldn't be having this conversation without him. So I think he's probably fall on the side of hero.
The other thing I noticed is that are you using an iPhone?
Yes, I am.
All right, I thought so. So you're had right now. I mean, you just...
Oh, absolutely.
You just gave it up.
Oh, yeah.
Your phone number, you believe in numerology?
Yeah.
Your phone number has a secret code, and the 5087 is one number away from the UPC code for Roma tomatoes. Is that significant?
It probably is, and I don't know it. That's part of the scary part of this whole thing is that there's patterns and data that others may ascribe to you that aren't actually true, but if they're the government and they think it's true, then really what difference does it make whether it's true or not, right? If 5087 means something to the authorities, it doesn't matter if it really doesn't mean anything. It does to them, and so now you're screwed.
This is the whole point we've learned in the past 10 years is that if they decide that they think they know something about you, there's probably nothing that you can say to dissuade them from that viewpoint.
Right, yeah. I mean, it was someone sitting at my desk posting that on Facebook. It wasn't me. So, there's a chain of custody that's missing on some of this stuff, too. That's my phone number, but someone stole my phone. Or, that's my email address, but, gerbils on my computer. So, it should be no surprise. I mean, the part of the debate I've really heard and related to is the fact that, look, the Internet was a Defense Department creation, okay? DARPA was they invented it so they could have secure and coverable communications that are traceable and that you can plug into anywhere and still know who you're talking to. And so it's a data collection tool. It's always been. So, when you get the 55-page terms of use agreement from Apple, when you buy your iPhone, you click yes, I understand and I agree. That's what you're agreeing to. You're agreeing to, everything I say and do is yours.
That's right.
I'm using your equipment and You own
That's right. You're copping out on your own identity, or you're giving up your own identity.
Yeah, we're complicit in our own slavery.
And it's just so much garbage on the internet that goes around.
Yeah.
And how do you select what's real and what isn't?
Yeah.
And I suppose if this has been going on and they listen to some of the phone conversations or emails from those kids in Boston a couple of weeks ago, it didn't help. It's not working.
Right. Well, I mean, it's interesting you mentioned that. That was our first offense. Today they came out with, we've solved we've foiled dozens of terrorist plots using this information. So that's supposed to make us feel better about it. And then, the other part of it is, you're right. I mean, there's so much data to sift through. How do they actually make any sense of it? And so you have to believe that they've developed these algorithms that are actually, and the part of computer and online technology that really scares me is the whole autocorrect thing, or the computer suggesting what you mean when you type stuff in. You type something in your browser bar and it gives you the last 15 websites you looked at with the first 2 letters that you typed in. And, so there are these algorithms out there that where X equals 1, then, P must equal 15. And so through all this data using technology, and it makes it a lot easier for them. So I think that they should be doing a lot better job of foiling terrorist plots, actually, if they really need this stuff. If they're gaining enough information and we have access to all of it, then we should feel totally safe, shouldn't we?
We should.
Do you feel safe?
Do you?
I do, because I'm so small and worthless. If someone's listening to my stuff, they've got the problem.
They're welcome to it.
Yeah, exactly.
If someone wants to steal my identity, they're welcome to wallow in the same humiliation that I wallow in.
Exactly. Would you like to replace my identity? Would you like to use it for your nefarious purposes? Go ahead, please.
Take it. Take it, man. Yeah. It's yours. Bob Mentzinger, thank you so much, man.
This is always a pleasure, Rich. I'm so glad you got back in touch. I can't wait to get the link.
It's so awesome, and we should do this more often.
Please do, and enjoy the Four Corners.
All right, man. Thanks a lot. Take care.
All right. Thanks, Rich.
You've been listening to Mountain Daylight Time. For the Durango Herald, I'm Richard Alcott.